Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 936. The audio still sounds like crap. I apologize. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to episode, I think, 936. It is Card Show Review Day. Man, it's 9:30. Just getting up, going. This is one of the later times that I go live. Day after the Madison Card Show. It's kind of tough because I'm up super early on Saturday morning, getting everything ready. Usually have a few beers after the show. Did so. Yesterday was my wife and I's anniversary, 6th anniversary. So we went out for sushi last night. And then we had some friends stop by, and they were here till like 11. Way past my bedtime. So I was a little tired this morning. A little sleep in. See, haven't showered, hair's a mess, wearing my hoodie. Happy Sunday. Coffee's brewing. So I've got, I think my wife, yeah, look at that. The thing you see in the back, that thing, used to be over here off camera. And it held all my business documents. But my wife put a hanging folder thing in this desk. So now everything's there. So I can put that back in storage. I put a coffee table next to the desk. So the coffee maker's on top of that. My shelf that was over here is now over there. See my Pearl Jam poster. Oh, the balls are gone. Where'd they go? They went. Oh, one's behind me. So just getting things prepared. My case for my cards arrived yesterday. So I'm going to get that unpacked, check it out, and probably get this stuff hung next week. Going to put an area rug in here eventually, help with the sound, and away we go. And so Madison Card Show yesterday. We're going to review the Madison Card Show. I don't think I will go live tomorrow morning. We have a bunch of people coming over like early. Trim carpenters are coming to finish up the last things they need to do. They're coming at like 7:30. We have our movers come back to put when they put the bed together, I don't know, put it backwards or something. So they've got a couple guys coming to switch that around. Landscapers. So it's going to be a full house. So I don't think there will be a show tomorrow morning. Tuesday, Wednesday well, I don't want to say for sure. Don't want to say for sure. Aiming for Tuesday, Wednesday. And then obviously I'll be at the National Wednesday through Sunday. So stop by if you see me. Stop by if you see me at the National. I'll be the guy in the Cubs cardometer around my neck with an updated count. I've got a couple flat rate boxes that I still need to count. I picked up a bunch of Cubs stuff yesterday. Not by design. Not by design. They just came to me. I did make a purchase yesterday too, which I wasn't anticipating. So I'll tell you about that today. In fact, that will probably be a video that I'll do. What's in the box type video. So I will be at the National Wednesday through Sunday. Still don't know. It's a game time decision on my exact Wednesday plan for the National. So right now, my plan is going to be head down between 10 and 11. So it's a little over 2-hour drive for me, about 2:15 from my house to the Stevens Convention Center parking garage. So probably leave 10:30, which puts me there by 1, which is kind of, as long as I'm there by 1, check in, and then just go straight to line. The VIP entrance opens at, I think, 3 or 3:30. So maybe I'll sneak up to the VIP lounge and grab a slice of pizza. I don't know. But that's what I did 2 years ago. I went early because I was still working the office job. And it's like, I took the whole day off. I'm getting the hell out of here. Boom. Now I sell baseball cards in my basement. So I have to be more responsible with my time. So depending on how the day goes, I'm going to leave when I'm finished working. And if there's nothing else going on, which there probably will be around the house. So aiming for leaving here at 10:30 and checking in and popping in line. You know what? Honestly, what I probably will do Wednesday, if I do the get in line and don't go straight to go or whatever, Monopoly reference, straight to Park Place without passing go or whatever. I can't remember. Anyway, what I might do, I get the VIP bag. Instead of waiting until I get to the hotel Wednesday night, which I'm probably going to do a get together with East Coast Tom, my buddy Michael Renicky on Wednesday, and my buddy Dave at the hotel where I'll stay at the same hotel out in Wheeling. It's because usually I just go straight back to the hotel and open my packs and list the national singles on eBay, try to recoup some of that VIP money. I think I'm going to do that in the lobby waiting for the doors to open at the National or at the VIP line. So first on the market, right? So I think I might do that. So stop by and see me. I'll be there all week. Speaking of stopping by and seeing me, make sure if you're going to be there Saturday, we're going to get Hobby Evolution get together Saturday after the show at Shoeless Joe's, which is just down the street on River Road. Nice little place. Met up there with a couple friends after the show, after one of the shows 2 years ago at the National. And it was like quiet. I thought like every place within a mile radius would just be jam-packed. Not the case. Shoeless Joe's was like pretty quiet. So we'll meet at and I say that, I jinxed it. I say that Saturday is just going to be like, oh shit, we don't have any room. Shoeless Joe's Saturday after the show. Hobby Evolution get together. Met a couple, speaking of get-togethers, met a couple guys that tune into the show and chat. Shout out to Shane. Shout out to Evan. They came up from Iowa to the Madison Card Show yesterday. Always awesome to get to meet people that watch the show and communicate on social media. So shout out to those guys for coming up. Really appreciate it. I love it when people travel in the show. Means a lot to me. John Keating came in from Philly. Herman flew up from Georgia. Dan came in from Korea. Victor comes in all the time from Chicago. So I really appreciate everybody that has visited the Madison Card Show and that plans to visit in the future. Hopefully you can make it soon. Next show is August 26th at the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolen Drive, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. 125 dealer tables already booking for the August show. I've got some new dealers. I've got some dealers coming back. I want to get to the comments here in a moment, but I made this comment in one of my group chats yesterday. I'm starting to see this trend. So 2020, 2021, we had COVID and the hobby all of a sudden explodes. People are getting back into cards in 2020 and 2021. Some, like my friend Zach and Porter, did it because they love cards and they love the hobby and they love collecting. Some did it for the quick buck, the money. And I think that's okay. I think both equally make the hobby world turn, right? But some people like just got out, like, oh, I can't make a quick buck anymore. I'm out. I get it. And I get that too. You can't just stay in if you're not making money and you don't truly love it, have a passion for it. There's no reason for you to stay in it. I get that. What I started to see as the hobby declined going into 2022, and I could sense I have dealers that set up at the Madison Card Show, and it's like, they're done. Give them a couple months, they won't be doing cards anymore. And That happened. I've seen that a lot, and it continues. And it's pretty easy to predict. It's pretty easy to, if you know them, and you just kind of watch, it's pretty easy to point out that guy's not going to be setting up at card shows in 3 months. What I'm now seeing is guys that got in during the boom, setting up at card shows. All of a sudden, they lose their ass on some stuff because of the decline. They bought in high at the peak, and they get out. I'm starting to see some of those guys come back. I'm starting to see some dealers that set up at my early shows back in 2021. Then they bounced. Now all of a sudden, they're back. And I think that's awesome. That's awesome. I did not. And I will say, wow, that's awesome. I didn't expect to see that. And it's not just one or two guys. I'm seeing this kind of across the board. I'm seeing it with several dealers that did that. And it's not something I expected to see. Like, I just figured, the boom. We got the boom. We got all these new people. You know, we're going to lose a bunch of them because they can't make their money anymore. And then they're done until the next boom, or they're on to the next thing, whether it's NFTs, whatever the new thing is now. I don't think it's NFTs anymore. So that's pretty cool. I've started to see that trend with my card show and in the ones that I check out. Todd, good morning. What's up? Andy Mack in the house. Good morning to you. Finally made the live show. It's 9:30. I think it was my buddy Bronco, Baseball Card Illustrated. He's like, "You going on tomorrow?" I said, "Yeah, probably 8:30." He's like, "Oh, I might be able to catch that." We're also West Coast friendly this morning, since it's 7:40 out on the Pacific Coast. Todd says, "Happy anniversary." Thank you. Yesterday was our 6th anniversary, and we went to. I got home. My mother-in-law and her friend were here, helping my wife put some, art up. And like, do you want to? And my mother-in-law, "What are you doing? It's your anniversary. What are you doing?" It's like, neither of us are like sappy like that. It's like, we're couch people. I don't know. I'm like, it would be nice just to get out, have dinner at our favorite sushi restaurant. So we did. So we went and had sushi, and we were talking about, I may have a new sponsor, and I do not I'm a terrible salesperson when it comes to sponsorships for the Madison Card Show, which I really should be better, more proactive with it. Because I had somebody reach out to me asking about the sponsorships, and now that I've got some regular sponsors they're sponsoring on a regular basis, it's almost like, okay, now let's pump it up. And it's basically like, this is for the Facebook ads, but maybe a little added value, and we'll put you on the sign. Because right now it's my wife sponsors the Madison Card Show on the signage. That I started that like 2 years ago because I wanted signs and I didn't want to pay for them. I'm like, hey, if you're the sponsor, you buy my signs, you write it off as a business expense, and I get free signs. So we were talking about that, and I could use new signs. I could use better signs, because right now they're clipped and they're on these stands that suck. So I need to revamp all that. So my wife and I were talking about this over sushi, and throwing out ideas like that. And I'm like, it's our anniversary. I'm gonna gift you. Now that I'm charging for sponsorships, happy anniversary. I will keep you on as a Madison Card Show sponsor, free of charge. I'm a romantic. Cooter, good morning. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Boston Smoke, can you believe we made 6 years? Wow, 6 years. When you say friends stopped on the night of your anniversary, are you admitting to spicing things up? New house, new you. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Dan in Chicago. What's up from the southwest side? Ziggy Knows in the house. Happy Sunday. We've got Flawed Thinker here. Good morning. Shane in the house. What's up, Shane? Let's see. Zach says to Dan, to confirm, you will be at dinner after, so I don't need to meet up with you to give you things on the property. I'm trying to figure out who I need to text to see on site. So that's to Dan. Low Roller Scratcher's back. It's been a while. We have not seen Low Roller Scratcher. So what are you playing? What's on your thumbnail down there? I can't see what state that is. Where is Low Roller Scratcher? What state is he in? Herman's in the house. What's up, Herman? Evan, I met Evan yesterday. Evan and Shane. What's happening? Good morning. Low Roller says, are you worried about UPS strike next month? I don't know. Maybe. I honestly don't know anything about it, so I can't really comment. If UPS were to strike, would it be a concern? Probably, because I get a fair share of deliveries from UPS. So yeah. Personally, I don't ship UPS, but there's always a trickle down to USPS, especially when it comes to transportation. You know, when I worked in transportation, something that affected us was the railroad strike. And it's like, well, you work in truckload. How would that affect? It's trickle down. There's no rail service, so how do you ship it? Put it on a truck. And now there's more stuff to ship, less trucks to move it. And prices, supply is down, demand goes up, prices go up, and that's why you see your local grocery store raising prices. So there is a trickle down. So it could be a concern. Dan says dinner is Saturday night. Yes, if so, I'll be there. Let's see. Oh, speaking of our meetup, Zach, I found. Did I put it in here? No, I think it's in the other room. I found in one of my Goodwill pallets, there was a Chicago Bears like plaque with 1991 Upper Deck Bears cards and like a Bears logo matted, and it's in decent shape. Even though it's cool and 91 Upper Deck means a lot to me personally, it doesn't fit my collection. But I think it might fit Zach's collection. If it doesn't, give it to somebody you love. So I did find that, so I will bring that next week. The funny thing was my wife and mother-in-law, we were like placing stuff like, where do you want this? Where do you want that? Down here in the basement. And so it was probably those bins that were down here. I took those into the back corner storage area, and I'm walking back, and there it was there were like 3 things that I forgot. I mean, I knew I had that still somewhere. I knew it would surface during the move, and it never did until the other day. And I'm like, oh, my wife's like, what? Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I found something that I've been looking for a year and a half. There was something else. There were 2 other things, and it's like, oh crap, I forgot I had this too. The things you find when you move. Let's see. Low Roller, notice something. I don't think I've brought this topic up, but yes, I have started to increase prices in my eBay store. I did get a message from somebody on eBay. Thank you for that. Talking about raising the floor. It's basically, it's trial and error. Actually, no, it's not trial and error because prices are going to go up with postage. So I think $1.06. I settled on $1.60 for a lot of like the base stuff. If it's a little more rare, I'm going like $1.75. I'm just trying different price points, just kind of experiment with pricing in my eBay store. So I think I've settled on my base price to be $1.60. But it's not as like up until now, it's been $1.50 across the board. Like, oh, this is $1, unless it's like a Tua or Justin Fields rookie going to be $2.50 or $3. But like across the board base is $1.50. But I think I'm going to, first Bowman's, I think I might raise to $1.75. But a bunch of Panini Golden Age, $1.60. I don't think I've added these yet. These are pretty cool. These are really cool. So, like, look at these are just super cool cards. These are from Panini Golden Age. Grace Kelly, Mario Andretti, Buck Weaver from the Black Sox. Elizabeth Montgomery. Was she Bewitched or Dream of Jeannie? I think she was Bewitched, Elizabeth Weaver. And Goose Goslin. It's like, damn, I wish I had more of these. I bet these will sell. And these I might actually put at $2 because they're probably inserts and they might be more sought after. They're, a little more rare. They're not your 1989 tops. Dan says straight to jail. 14th anniversary of Mark's perfect game. Mark Burley. Dan thanks him for the reminder. 14th anniversary of Wise's catch. Carries equal importance. Most amazing in-game catch given what was on the line. There's Matt. Matt also came up from Iowa. Yes. Matt was there. Shane was there. Evan was there. Shane says we should have done a Hobby Evolution meetup. Heck yeah. Low roller. So going back to my prices, did raising your prices to $1.60 affect your eBay sales? So I don't have enough. What do you call it? There's not enough time that's passed by to say yes or no. What I have found is it makes getting to my absolute basement of a price much easier. I've noticed even just raising it a dime, my floor price to a dime, and this is anecdotal. I don't have stats to back this up, but it seems like I'm getting less dollar offers and more $1.25, $1.40, which is my basement. Like, okay, I'll move this for $1.40 and, make a dime or whatever the margin is. So that's kind of what I've noticed just anecdotally. And again, this is only taken effect for 3-4 days. So I don't have enough evidence. I don't have enough numbers, stats to really, say one way or another that it slowed down my eBay sales or it's my thinking. And this is just me and my opinion would be raising up baseball card at dime because a lot of people are much higher than $1.50 on their base cards. $1.79, $1.89, $2, whatever it might be. My thought process would be, I'm not going to see a decline in sales. If anything, I'll see an increase. I won't see any decline in volume, but I should see a slight increase in sales dollars, right? That's my thought process through it all. So we'll see. We'll give it a month and look at the numbers, see how things go. So Shane was there, Evan was there, Matt was there. James was there. James is an early bird. Here's the funny thing about yesterday's Madison Card Show. It was about 8:00. Show hours, in quotes. Show hours are 9 to 3. Show hours are 9 to 3, but I get a lot of people walking the floor. And when I say a lot, a dozen, 5, 6 to 12, 15, maybe between 7:30 and 8. By 8:00, there's more than a dozen, I would say. I think at 8:00, I had more customers walking the show floor than dealers setting up. And it was a sold out show. I had a couple no-shows, but I'm like, it was a late arriving crowd. And it's 9:00. And it's like, somebody mentioned, man, it's slow. But by 10:00, it was packed. I'm like, damn, there's more people than I expected here, which is a good thing. Uncle Rich is in the house. He says, don't forget that like button. Thank you very much. Subscribe so you can hear the occasional hobby content. Probably a little more hobby content today since we're going to review the Madison Card Show. Zach and Porter says, Bo can eat a sack of moldy oranges by not recognizing the effort it takes for us to go to his show. Just because you can't tax me doesn't mean it shouldn't count. And thank you, Zach and Porter, for coming to the Madison Card Show. See, that's why I don't like naming people, because I always forget people. And sometimes you forget the ones you love the most, right? Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. and join the conversation. Matt Royals 417 in the house. Good morning. Getting ready for his first national. And here's the funny thing. Guess what I've been preaching? Guess what I've been saying the last 2 weeks on my videos? Especially, well, I've been talking more national talk now because I'm really getting excited now. Now I've got my buddy's wedding out of the way. It's in the rearview mirror. The Madison Card Show's in the rearview mirror. Now the focus is on getting caught up here. Well, and it's a juggling act, getting caught up with the house stuff, my business, and then I can go to the national. So, but I have a lot less other balls in the air right now. So, but what I've been saying for the last couple of weeks is, every content creator is talking about the frickin' national. I don't care. I'm going and I don't care. So I've been saying that for weeks. So Bronco, Baseball Card Illustrated, check out his channel. Awesome stuff. Awesome dude. Him and Showtime. He goes, so I want to do a quick 1 minute video with you on your number one tip for the national. And then he goes, and I know you hate videos on tips for the national. So come up with something other than bring extra food or wear comfortable shoes, because that's like a given. I won't spoil it. And I had to think about it. It's like, what would be if I had to give just one tip for the national? What would it be? Oh, I remember what it was. I'm not going to share it. You're going to have to go over to Baseball Card Illustrated's channel and check it out. I don't know. I'm sure he'll probably release the video, I would say, in the next couple of days, since the national starts Wednesday. So yeah, I did give my one tip for my number one tip for the national. Zach enjoys collecting cards. Ziggy says it's like Casios. You see, guys, come and go. The hobby is a Casio today. It is. You know what the thing is? The hobby's been that way probably since the hobby. I wasn't around when the hobby started. But I bet it's always been like, I mean, I'm a Casio. I've come and gone from the hobby. I've been in it, what I would say long-term now, but it took a lot of pauses, exits. You know, I started collecting, say, 88, 89. My first pack of cards, I remember 88. And it's just like, oh, I'm a kid. I'm 6, 7 years old. Oh, this is cool. 89, that's when I was like sucked in. And then it's like, my cousin still like jokes. I showed a picture of my card room and she's like, I thought when you were 10, you had a lot of baseball cards, because I had like 200. And, you know, I was pretty, you know, I had the bug. It hit me. I had the fever in the early 90s. Many people did. But then the combination between, I think you know, it wasn't the baseball strike that took me out. No, it lines up. You know, I basically stopped collecting cards right around 1994. But it wasn't strike related. Now, I stopped watching baseball for a few years because of the strike, because it was like out of sight, out of mind. But I had transitioned from mainly a baseball football collector in the late 80s, early 90s to basketball, because I caught Shaq fever in 92. Dream Team. Man, I was a basketball junkie starting in 92. I was collecting basketball cards into junior high, into like 95. And I was a basketball junkie collecting basketball cards. And then I got into wrestling. And I've always had the collecting bug. And my collection bug then became wrestling magazines. I'd go to the Book Emporium in Kewanee, Illinois. And a wall, like a freaking long wall. Like, man, how many feet? What, 100 feet? I don't know. It was 100 yards. It was like a football field length. Magazines, every magazine you can imagine. You know what's sad? Like, in that's nostalgic for me. And I understand, like, today we have the internet. We didn't have the internet in 1990. Well, we kind of did in 95. It wasn't very mainstream. You certainly weren't logging online on your phone or even at home to read sportsillustrated.com or whatever. But I'd walk into the book emporium on the left-hand side of the wall of magazines. Every freaking magazine available. There were like 20 wrestling magazines. I miss that. I miss magazines. I still subscribe to Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I just got a copy in the mail last week. I kind of flipped through it. I don't even really watch wrestling, but I think it's just that nostalgia for me. So I've bounced in and out. I've been a Casio in the hobby, but I've pretty much been locked in since 2000. I'd say 2012 was when I got hooked back in, and then I was like hardcore starting in probably when I moved to Wisconsin in 2014. But between 88 and 2014, I was a cat. In 2012, I was a Casio. I was bouncing in and out. Cooter, what's up? I am personally glad to see the carpetbaggers leaving the hobby. They only drove up prices for collectors. Hall of Fame card collector, good morning. Dan agrees with Cooter. Going back to Cooter's comment, I just kind of glazed by it because I don't really, I get it. That's your opinion and I have mine, and I don't disagree. I don't agree, but I don't disagree. I don't agree and I don't disagree. It was annoying going to Target and Walmart and just from my perspective as don't buy retail, don't buy wax, it's a waste of money. I know, but it's fun for me. Why would you spend money to go play a game that you suck at, golf? Most people suck at golf, but they go every weekend and piss away money. Golf clubs are expensive. Playing around a golf, I don't know how much it costs. Could be expensive. What do you have? Shitty memories of stinking up the golf course. I go piss away 20 or 30 bucks on a blaster box of whatever. Kiss my ass. That's what I say. So that was annoying when I went to Target or Walmart and people are trying to flip Topps Fire. You look at Facebook Marketplace, they got Topps Fire blasters for 40 bucks. It's like, these mother effers aren't worth 20. You son of a bitch. So I get that sentiment. So I probably mostly agree with that comment. There were some good, a lot of bad. I think I'll mostly agree with that comment. Low Roller says I better sell Barbie cards. Barbie is doing well at the box office this weekend. I don't know how to answer to that. But I will say to Low Roller Scratcher, Matt, who's in the chat this morning, came up to the card show yesterday. I think he messaged me Friday night. He's like, hey, can you bring your non-sports box? I have a quarter box of non-sports. There's wrestling cards in there. There's golf, soccer, and it's fun. Tennis. One of my buddies who's doesn't know a damn thing about cards. I don't think he's ever had a card in his life. Maybe. But he knows nothing about cards. And he swung by. His wife was out of town. So he was doing everything that when his wife's in town that I'm not going to say can't do, but chooses not to do. It's like he's on his own. He's going out. He's playing golf, going to Madison Card Show, going out. We went out, had a couple beers, and then he went to crashed a wedding reception or whatever. So he was living life as a bachelor. Anyway, he stopped at the show. This was last month, and he goes, it's funny because he was a college tennis player. He goes, it's funny that you have tennis cards in your non-sports box. And I said, I also have hockey and soccer in my non-sports box. And I've got random crap in there. Anyway, I couldn't find it, but I did find my hockey box. And so yesterday morning, I'm getting my inventory it was Friday after the show. Oh, I've got set up. I'll talk about my setup yesterday. And I found my hockey box, and I thought of you, Low Roller Scratcher. And I'm like, frickin' hockey. I'm not going to take this. Nobody looks at my hockey cards at the card shows. I decided to take it. It might have got the second most action of any of my boxes yesterday at the Madison Card Show. I think I made like 7 or 8 transactions out of my hockey boxes. Not expecting that. So what should I do? I should sell more hockey and soccer. Big Harv says, thanks for being West Coast friendly. Red Light says, how was the show? It was an awesome show. I'll weave in and out stories from yesterday's show, but all in all, it was because I hyped it up and I'm like, this is going to be a great show, especially for dealers. It's right before the National. There's like this, I get this feeling like most content creators are saying, or, basically if you're putting hobby videos, if you're putting any videos on YouTube, you're a content creator. I don't like the term content creator. I don't know why. It's just, I don't like titles. I hate titles, especially when you're in a sales position, which I formerly was. It's like every 2 years, your corporate office gives you a new title. And you're like, I'm a business development specialist for a third-party logistics company. What the fuck is that? I'm in sales and I move products from point A to point B. I help move product. I don't move them, but I help move them. I align the transportation of the stuff you get at the grocery store. Business development specialist. Now, because I'm on LinkedIn and I'm still like linked up with all my former company, my former employees, and we text back and forth some of my former coworkers. And so I saw our office was hiring like a national sales manager. Like, whoa, wow, our office in Madison is getting a national sales manager? That's impressive. So I text and I'm like, I joked with one of the guys, we're in a text string. I'm like, hey, are you putting your name in the hat for this? So the other guy in my text string was actually my boss. And he goes, they did away with the business development specialist title. And now all BDS are national sales managers. I'm like, oh, Jesus. It sounds better. What the hell is business development specialist? You're a sales guy. That's what it is. How did I get on that? How was the show? Titles. Somehow we got there with titles. Where was I going with titles? I can't remember. It was a good show. Really big show. Oh, content creators. That's how we got there. Content creators. So content creators are saying, everybody's saving their money for the National. They're saving their money. Well, first off, like a very, very minute percentage of the collecting base is going to the National. And a percentage of that collecting base doesn't give a shit about what they're spending their money on in the hobby. And I'm not saying they're not budgeting or anything, but there's guys like me, and I said it the other day kind of flippantly, like, I don't have a budget. I do and I don't. Like 2 years ago, I had a budget. Like I am spending X amount. But 2 years ago, this was a side hustle. Now it's a business. So 3 years ago or 2 years ago, it was, I'm gonna spend this much money, but I'm gonna buy Cubs cards, and I'm also gonna buy some dollar cards to flip to fund my Cubs cards that I can buy at the next event. A lot of people do that. A lot of people have self-sustaining hobbies. They're gonna go to the singles club. They're gonna dig through bargain boxes, and they're gonna find stuff they want for their own collection. They're gonna flip other stuff. So I think it's dangerous to say don't go to the National with a budget, because that's dangerous. But not everybody is in the same position, right? Some is strictly a hobby. You're going to spend X amount per month on cards because you don't resell. So that definitely have a budget. If that's the category you fall into, have a budget, whatever it might be. If you have a self-sustaining hobby, your budget's probably going to be looser. And if you're in business and do this full time, yeah, I'm not going to go spend $100,000. It's beyond my means. But I'm not going to go in with, say, I'm only spending $3,000, because if I say that, I might be leaving something behind that I can buy this collection for 10 grand and make 30 or whatever the price might be. So, yeah. So going back to how we got here, I'm trying to figure out how are we weaving in and out of this question. How is the show? I've gone off on 3 tangents on this simple question. The simple answer is it was a really, really good show. So, I've been saying leading up to the Madison Card Show that was held yesterday at the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolen Drive, it was going to be a good show because people come to buy for the National. I had, I think, 3 dealers set up strictly. Now they had stuff to sell, but they were there strictly to buy for the National. So there's a lot of buyers out there. And I think all in all, most dealers left the show happy. They made some sales. Bronco made it. What's up? Long time no see. It's been, 18 hours? What's up, Bronco? ComC will sponsor you. I don't know if I want sponsors. Me and the wife just booked our 30th anniversary trip for October. Awesome. Happy 30th. 30, that's a big one. That's a big anniversary. Congrats. Low Roller says PSA partners with ComC this week. I did see that. Did you celebrate your anniversary at night? Yes, we did. We had the Madison Card Show by day. We went out for sushi last night. So yes, we did celebrate. Sport Lots should sponsor both. So many collectors don't know about them. That's probably my biggest pet peeve with Sport Lots. Their marketing sucks. It's such a great, and I don't even use it, and I think it's a great site. But I've said it many times, it's not for everybody. I mean, for what I do now today, it's not worth it for me to sell there. But at one point in my past, it was, and I loved it for about 2 years. Every once in a while, I'll go there as a buyer just to look to see what's there. It's still clunky. They've made some changes. They've made some improvements. It's still clunky, but I still think it's a great website. And yes, I agree. So many collectors, even collectors within that would be perfect customers for Sport Lots, don't know about them. And that's a crime. They need better marketing. Herman. Oh, we just said that. Good morning, Dave. What's happening? Zach and Porter says LRS is in a state of providing unsolicited advice with little reaction. But where are we at in the chat? You might want to pre-order supplies in advance of the potential strike. That's actually a really good idea. And I sold a case of top loaders. I mean, individually. So I was going to sell a case of top loaders for, I think, $90. And I ended up selling 100. I sold 39 of the 40. So I sold 99% of my case of one of the cases I brought. I think for 100. So I sold them for $3 a pack. $117 I made on top loaders. So it's like, well, shit. But obviously, if I have people that say, hey, I'll buy a case, I'll order more, have them on hand, sell them individually and whatnot. So it's funny. I sold supplies like crazy, but I think it's because Paul, who Baseball Card Haven on Twitter, if you know him, great dude, usually sets up at the Madison Card Show, was not able to yesterday. He's up front, so he gets a lot of the supply sales, which I'm okay with because I don't sell supplies to sell supplies. I sell, I just order a bunch and I use them. And if I don't use them or if I don't sell them, I'll use them. So, so he wasn't there. So I think that's why I made more sales than typical for my supplies. I sold, like I said, almost an entire case of top loaders, all but one pack. I sold, I think, all of my card savers. I took 5 or 6 boxes of card savers, which usually I'm lucky to sell one box. And I'm really cheap. I sell them for $20. Most people sell them for around 25, sometimes 30. And penny sleeves. I sold all of my penny by like 10 a.m. and I didn't bring any more because I'm running low. So I've got to put an order in. So Cooter, that's a good advice. I do need to put an order in this week. There's also a sale through the month of July on Columbia Hobby. So I'll put an order in for some more top loaders. I think I've got a whole card savers. I might just buy a couple cases just to have. And then I'll get a bunch of penny sleeves. Low Roller has been busy. He's been playing Virginia skill games. So we've learned Low Roller Scratcher is in the state of Virginia. Peeps in the house. What's up? Cubs buying or selling over the next week? Oh, this was a topic du jour. Topic du jour yesterday. Unfortunately, I think even though the National League Central sucks, so do the Cubs. And the Cubs, just no team in the National League Central can really separate themselves from the rest of the pack. Cubs still have a chance, but it's like a wise man in my hometown once put so eloquently, it's time to shit or get off the pot. And that's what the Cubs have to decide this week. Are they shitting? Or are they getting off the pot? And I think they're going to sell. I think we're going to see bye-bye to Cody Bellinger. We're going to say bye-bye to Marcus Stroman. We're going to say bye-bye to Kyle Hendricks. I think it's going to look like a fire sale. It's not really a fire sale per se, but I think the Cubs are going to move a lot of their pieces just because they're only like 6 games out, and no team is really, dominating. Not, that's to put it loosely. But I think they'll sell. One of the biggest demands agreed upon was air conditioning in their fleet. Crazy they had to fight for that. That is wild. I haven't read anything about the UPS stuff. Dave says, I'm putting some 1982 tops on, and I can seem to get the Cal Ripken Jr. to upload. Tried 3 times, no luck. I don't know. Zach says, you found the plaque. We'd love that, but I'd like to confirm it has the hockey stick holograms. If not, you can toss it. I don't know if that's a joke. I think that's a joke with the emojis. Sometimes I don't know. Especially with Zach. I don't know. He's stepping away. Take it easy. Have a good Sunday. Matt says, UPS should also invest in door seals so I don't get packages covered in an inch of dust. Hazards of living in rural Kansas. Thankfully, no cards ruined to date. Oh, man, that sucks. Dave says, does 2013 Fleer Retro Football sell as I have like 50,000 of those? I just put – do I have – no, I put them away already. I listed a bunch. I have like another stack. I've moved a few. Let me see. Let's just go to my eBay store and check it out. Let's see if this is going to be a good offer. $15. Come on. Let's see. Search. Oh, we got to go to my store. So Madison Card Show. We're going to talk more about Madison Card Show. It was a really good show yesterday. I bought, I sold. We had fun. 2013 Fleer Retro. This is why I hate sleeping in because it's already 10:20. So I sold a Herschel Walker, Niall Davis, Marcus Lattimore, Denard Robinson, Jerry Rice. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've sold 5 cards in the last couple of days. So out of 100 listed. So that's pretty good. Let's see. Hall of Fame card collector got a PSA 10, 89 Fleer Billy Ripken back from PSA. Nice. That's a big card. Good morning, Tracy. What's up? Rich says, you have actually been mostly hobby content this morning. I have been. Hooray. The best show we've seen in a while, and that's a relief just to have to keep traveling. There you go. Thank you. Awesome. Rich says, I've had more people contact me pre-national than in any previous year. The anticipation is off the charts. That's awesome. That is good to hear. Good to hear. I'm excited for it. The best national tip I heard this week, in which I had never heard before, was know where the bathrooms are and look for the quietest places there. That's good. That's something you kind of take for granted, like where are the bathrooms? Baseball Card Illustrated. Bronco says the video will be posted. There you go. National tips from Bronco. There he is. Baseball Card Illustrated will be on his channel tomorrow. JG says, look at you now going to the National to hang out with all your YouTube content creators. Yes. Yes. There is the YouTube gathering on Thursday night. So I think I'm going to hit that up. Hosted by Mike Moynihan. Sports cards is like cryptocurrency. People will jump in the bull run and leave in the crash. Some people will come back in crypto during the down market. Absolutely. Absolutely. Golf clubs are really expensive when you throw them into the pond, right? When you have to keep replacing them. Dan says, I played golf yesterday for the first time in at least 12 years. Didn't lose a step. Still didn't break 100. Disc golf isn't as expensive, and it's more fun. Disc golf is way more fun than regular golf. Max, what's up? LRS, do people still even crypto? I had $1.54 in my Robinhood, like in my cash account, because whatever I bought, I had left over. Because I haven't really dabbled in Robinhood in 2 years. So I had $1. I'm like, I'm just gonna put this in some stupid shit. So I put it in Doge, which if you've followed the show, I don't know my code. I was on Doge like early, and I had if I would have sold, I sold it all off like 3 months before it like went to the moon. I basically doubled or tripled my money by selling it in, I don't know, say July or August for like $600. Say I invested $200, turned it into $600. I was super happy. Had I waited 3 months, it would have been worth like $160,000. Like that would have been nice. My Doge has gone up a little bit. So just dabble. Let's see. Low Roller's talking about crypto and then ads. Chasing Cardboard got exposed by Sports Card Radio. They deleted the video. His reputation ruined forever now. Which video was deleted? Ooh, now I'm curious. Big Harv says, I'm planning on going to the West Coast National with the Burbank show on Labor Day weekend. That's one of, so I plan on Dallas. I want to hit up the Dallas show in November of this year. So I haven't booked anything yet because I'm just waiting. I want to wait until the dust settles on this move. The Nationals next week. My wife and her mother are going on a cruise. So she's going to be gone for half the month of August. So once we get set by the end of August, and once we're like settled in, then I can make my plans. So November, Dallas is my plan. Burbank next year. I do want to make a Burbank trip next year. So I think that's kind of my, like, I'd like to hit up one of the big shows, and maybe in 2025 do Philly or one of those East Coast shows. A lot of people in Philly, so maybe I'll do a Philly show. And my friends over at Collects and Car Dealer Pro in Philly as well. James made it to John Nolen Drive yesterday. What's happening? Good morning to you. Angel Babies here, West Coast friendly time. The term specialist in many businesses is a definition and term they started using around the early 2000s. The purpose of the definition was to show a particular employee focus. And it's stupid. I hate titles. Tracy loves Sport Lots. Most of my PC is bought there. It's a great place to add, especially if you find a seller that has a lot of what you're looking for, but that's also the downfall, finding a seller that has a lot of what you're looking for. Let's see. Sport Lots takes too much work to find the cards, and there it is. That's exactly what, why I don't like it. I wish I could check the cards I want, and then their software would rank sellers by number of cards they have. That would be cool. Let's see. Henry overslept. Broncos got to go. Off to AmFam Field. Who do the Brewers play today? I'd say go whoever the Brewers are playing, but it just depends on how, like, we're now, it's like, okay, now I've got to be strategic who I root for. Who are the Brewers playing this weekend? They're not playing the Cardinals because that's the Cubs. The Braves. So I've got to root for the Braves. Go Braves. Sorry, Bronco. Go Braves. A's fan Jim, what's up? First time catching me live. Appreciate you jumping on. Max says disc golf isn't even close to as fun as regular golf. Oh, that's no. Regular golf sucks. Just go play Frisbee with your dog from a lawn chair. Disc golf is so much more fun. Tommy Guns Trading Cards. What's up? Exciting week. National Madison Card Show. Me starting my own YouTube content. I'm going to have to go subscribe. Tommy Guns Trading Cards. British Open on TV. Looks miserable playing in that rain. Let's see. Here on the West Coast, just waking up. Think it's time to get out of bed and pour a hot cup of coffee. Dodgers are on fire. I haven't been looking at the standings much because the Cubs suck. The Cubs are not on fire. The Cubs are opposite of on fire. If I would have sold my crypto, if I had a dime for every time I've heard that from crypto boys the last 5 years, I could buy your dime boxes out every show. Well, start collecting dimes and buy my boxes. The Rock Fake autograph from Chasing Cardboard reaction of Sports Card Radio. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Henry's got to see that. Let's see. Angel Baby says, as predicted, the cards hardly never lie. Based on the data, it predicts Dodgers, Orioles for World Series or Rays. Rays have really sucked. They've really gone downhill. Orioles on Ohtani. I'm going to agree with Angel Baby Cards. I think Ohtani's staying put. I don't think he's going anywhere. In fact, I think he re-signs with the Angels. That's my take. It's probably not a hot take. It's my take. Let's see. So, Madison Card Show, I talked about it. It was a great show. I had a couple no-shows. One of my dealers had like some family issues come up, paid in full for his table, so I really appreciate that. I hate having open tables, but shit comes up, I get it. So I appreciate that. A couple other no-shows, so it's like, okay, you're kind of done. Because I had people reach out, and I fucked up. And one of my mostly regular dealers missed the June show, and he, like, in the same message, like 100% next time, and I didn't follow up. And so he messaged me Saturday. He's like, hey, you got us. And I'm like, no, I don't. That's my bad. But I could have had tape, and that's what sucks. When you no-show or cancel late, there's people that would have had cards in the attic. A great dealer that's semi-regular reaches out Friday night. Hey, do you have an open table? No, I'm completely sold out. Had open tables, and he showed up, but of course he showed up to buy, didn't have his stuff. Like yeah, it sucks. That sucks. So it also comes with a territory. I've just got to, and I've been doing this for over 2 years, 2.5 years now. So comes with a territory. I just brush it off, but I remember who late cancels and no-shows. So that sucks, but it is what it is. I mentioned earlier, like, it's a low, and I've noticed this in the summer months, the last few years. The summer months, it's a late arriving crowd. It's a late arriving, dealers are late arriving. It's like 8 o'clock, and I've got like 10 out of 70 dealers in the house. And I've got more customers walking the show floor. So dealers, get there early because there's early birds. And I don't like, I'm not locking the doors until 9 o'clock and opening them up at 9. If somebody wants to come walk the floor, as long as they don't cause any issues or piss off a dealer, if they're still trying to set up, that's more time for you as a dealer to make money. So if you don't want to miss sales, and I get some people are driving from, far away, but wake up an hour early, 2 hours early, get there early. You might make more money. So, it kills me when a dealer, I had such a shitty show. I didn't make any money. And they show up at 9 o'clock to set up and the room's already packed. It's like, you missed an hour and a half of potential sales. And if you pack up early and there's still people in the room, you might miss out on a sale. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, we have people walking the show early. Shane, this is a good question. Do you block people from getting a table at your show if they no-show more than once? I don't really block anybody. So here's what happens. First-time dealers, because I don't know them, I don't have a rapport with them, I want them to prepay. Once we build a rapport, I'm okay if they want to pay day of. I don't like that because, especially when I set up, and even when I'm not setting up, running around collecting money throughout the show is hard because I'll go and it's like, okay, I want to go finish the downstairs, but there's people at your table and I'm not going to come interrupt a deal for a dealer to collect his table money. So I would appreciate and I know a lot of dealers listen, just to make it easy on me, if you want to pay day of, pay me like early at the show. Like as soon as you get there, just pay me. Because you're going to have to pay one way or another. Bring 50 or 80 or 120 bucks, whatever your table cost is, just bring it to me. And it makes it so much easier on me and you, so I don't have to hound you at the end of the day. Hey, I need your money. But first timers, I ask to prepay. And it helps prevent, and there's a lot of tire kickers like, hey, put me down for a table. And then they don't show. Oh, because I forgot. I've had a guy like 3 times reach out 2 weeks before the show. Hey, you got any tables? I do. Here's how you can reserve. Pay me Venmo or PayPal. You want 2 tables? It's $80. PayPal or Venmo, and I'll put you on the list. And then the day before the show, you got any tables left? No. I'm sold out. I did 2 weeks ago when you asked me. So it is what it is, right? So if somebody no-shows me more than once, they're not like on a blacklist, but I've had one of my sponsors, one of my former sponsors early on, like no-showed like 2 or 3 times. It's like, okay, I'm not going to completely block him from the show, but he's got to pay me in advance. So if you want to set up, you got to prepay. And if you cancel on me, I don't care what excuse you come up with. I'm not going to refund you because there's precedent. It's not a one-time thing. There's a precedent here. There's a trend. Max says August 26th can't come soon enough. Can't wait to set up down there again. I'm glad you said that so I can put you on the list. I'm going to do that right now. And I try to do this because, and I fuck up too. Like, and I get like people forget things and something comes up. Like I fucked up yesterday. Somebody told me 2 months ago, like, hey, or, 6 weeks ago, hey, I can't make the show, but 100% in next month. And I fucked up. So, I'm not preaching to the choir or anything. Max is in 2 tables. Okay, August 26th, next Madison Card Show. Raphael's in the house. What's up, Raphael? So that's the bad. The good, I did really well with sales. I sold a lot of supplies. I sold a lot of quarter cards. I picked up some cool stuff. My buddy East Coast Tom, we did kind of a sale trade. I had some pocket schedules and some cups. He's a cup collector. He's like an oddball collector. East Coast Tom is better than oddball Tom, I think. We'll call him East Coast Tom. I think Bronco came up with that name for East Coast Tom. So he brought me some 70s Cub schedules, 1975. Even better. It's nice and colorful. Even better, though. And I tweeted this out, so you probably already saw it if you're on Twitter. How about the old style on the back? Here's one from 74. I think I like that better. It's kind of a cleaner look than the 75. Pure brewed from God's country. G. Heilman Brewing, La Crosse, Wisconsin. 1971. They all kind of look the same, the front, but I like the back, the advertising, the old style. I love this because it's got the beer glass. Pure brewed, Heilman's Old Style is the singular beer. Enjoy it often. 1970. Beauty. Oh, these are so cool. And yes, I do count pocket schedules as cards. Fight me. If you say they don't count, fight me. I don't fight. Pure brewed, light and likable. Heilman's Brewing Company, La Crosse, Wisconsin. My favorite, though, these are still the tall boys. 1976. Not only, of course, the Cubs are red, white, and blue. Not only was this America's anniversary, 200 years, this was the Chicago National League Baseball Club's 100-year anniversary. From 1876, the Chicago White Stockings. And then they go to the actual pocket-sized schedules in 78. Fully krausened, naturally carbonated. And then finally 79. This might be my favorite. Fully krausened, naturally carbonated. I love the color on those old style bottles like that. Oof, love those. So thank you to East Coast Tom. Tommy Guns. Thank you. Appreciate that. Last card show in my town was in April in my garage. Free tables to whoever. And 7 dealers showed up and we had a great time. Great tip. That's really cool. That is really cool. Card show in your garage. 7 dealers showed up. That is really cool. Cooter wants to know, what year of pocket schedule do you consider vintage? Well, I mean, me personally, 79. But I think some people would consider 1994 vintage. And that's okay. That is okay. Matt says, I'll someday tell my grandkids the tale of the day I actually bought 2 Cubs cards from the 1 million Cubs guy. There were 2 Chicago Cubs Topps black gold in my quarter boxes. Matt found them and he bought them. So here's the thing. I don't have to subtract them to my count because they never got counted into my collection. So I can't say there aren't any Cubs cards in the quarter boxes. There just might be. There just might be. Big Harv loved Old Style, was able to buy a round for the house at a dive bar for like $10 in a small town about an hour and a half from Chicago. Hell, that might have been Anawan. Where were you at? An hour and a half from Chicago. Were you in Indiana or Illinois? I guess that's one question. So I'm trying to think, an hour and a half. You were down I-80, an hour and a half from Chicago was probably around Peru. LaSalle, Peru, Spring Valley, Ladd. The greatest chicken I've ever had is in Ladd, Illinois. Rip's Tavern. What other small towns are Marseilles, Seneca? I'm just driving down the I-80 corridor. Princeton. Going back to, I was at spring training this year. I probably shared this story already, but there's another guy, older guy, and probably in his 60s, and he's like, yeah, I'm from, we're just chit chat, between fields, and hey, where are you from? Like, oh, small town in Illinois. Hey, me too. Like, oh, you probably never heard of it. It's like 2 hours from Chicago. I'm like, tell me where it's. He's like, Princeton. I'm like, well, I'm from Anawan, it's like 15 minutes away. So I enjoy when people are like, oh, I'm from a small town. You've never heard of it. Try me. Most people are trying to get you to 1 million. I'm trying to get you back to 0. Love it. Love it. Henry says, I've got a Cubs pocket schedule and a fan pack and came with an unusual John Lester Topps departures card. Interesting. Tommy Guns has to run 110 today, so I got to get that lawn mowed. Oh, man. Good luck with that. Thanks for jumping on. Appreciate it. So what else did I get? So Mark, my buddy Mark, who sets up, has great vintage. I love this because not only is it the Billy Buckner 2002 Wrigley Field edition of the 1980 Topps Bill Buckner card, These are stadium giveaways, so they gave out to the first 20,000 fans. But the actual ticket stub, I think this is even cooler than the card. I love ticket stubs. And, of course, it comes in the little penny sleeve that it came for the giveaways. So Mark's also an Iowa guy. And then he had a stack of, like, junk wax. And he's like, all this for $5. So I took it off his table. One of the other dealers, he's like, I wanted to give you a Cubs card. He's from Minnesota. Had a great selection. He was in the Williamson Ballroom on the first floor. Awesome stuff, Bruce. And he's like, I had to get you a Cubs card. I couldn't find one, but I found. He's like, I bought 60 autographs for $1 a piece. I'm like, damn, that's a good deal because there's some good stuff in there. And so he gave me this Yohendrick Pinango Bowman's Best auto. And I'm like, what do you want for it? He's like, you can have it. He's like, I paid $1 for it. I've made more. I bought 60 autos, paid $1 a piece, and I just put $5 on every one of them. I had people like offering me $2-3, and I took every offer. He's like, I had $1 into it, so I made money on every sale. So that was awesome. Where are we at? Shane says to Evan, I ate at Chiba Hut after your show. That place was so good, I highly suggest stopping there if you attend Bo's show. I've never heard of Chiba Hut. Some idiot had the Babe Ruth card for sale just down the street for $35. Fact, I missed the place. Never thought they had any sports cards. That's a bummer. Low Roller says, let the robot cut your grass. $35, if you can believe it. Big Scott wants to know, where did you come across the 1973 Wichita Arrows team set? I found it on eBay just randomly several years ago. I think it was an auction, eBay auction, and I paid like $10 or $20 for it. And it's like a $200, $300 set because it's pretty rare. There's Tony La Russa, Paul Russell, a lot of guys that had a cup of coffee with the Cubs. There's also a 72 set that I have never found in the wild. In fact, I should probably create a search for it. There at some points in time, because I've searched for it every once in a while. At some points in the past, there have been singles. 1972 Wichita Arrows. We've got some programs. Yeah, not even a single. Or maybe it was it 74? Because there's a 74 Paul Russell. Oh, it's only at $4.95. I think I just might buy that. I wonder if he has more. Who's the seller on this? I'm going to search for 1974. I do not have that Paul Russell card. 1974 Wichita Arrows. Maybe it was 73, 74. Here's one, Paul St. Ong. He was the trainer. Oh, 1974 Wichita Arrows one-day film baseball set. 29 card set, $90. Ooh, I think I'm going to buy that. There's a lot of singles from 74. I think the 73 is harder to come by. I thought there was a 72. Oh, there's a pocket schedule. That's pretty cool. Okay. Thanks, Bink. Spending my money this morning. Let's see. Big Harp says, want to say Galesburg. You know what? If it was old style in Galesburg, I know exactly. I bet it was Duffy's Tavern. Were you at Duffy's Tavern in downtown Galesburg? I think it's on Cherry Street. I bet that's where you were at. I bet that it's a big time Cubs bar in Galesburg. Duffy's Tavern. Let's see. Angel Baby's got to go. Matt went to plenty of Wichita Arrows games at LDS. Very cool. Arrows, Pilots, Wranglers, now the Wind Surge. So what else did I get? Oh, there were some other vintage. Here's some vintage 2008, vintage 2006. Is Cooter still listening? So yeah, these were also from East Coast Tom, 2006. Some random Cubs. Cody, my guy, 608 Sports Cards dropped off some Series 2 that I think Cody dropped these off. I love this. This is the first Jeremiah Estrada Topps Heritage card that I have. This is going to look awesome autographed by Jeremiah next spring, or actually probably at the Cubs convention. What else did I get? Oh, Cody, these came from Cody. Rhino Tops Tribute, I think. Is that tier 1 or Tribute? Tops. Tribute. I get those mixed up. Maddox. This is numbered out of 75. That's pretty cool. Also, easy peasy is this Shane and Evan. Gave me some cards as well. So thank you guys. And then one of my dealers gave me a box of like 500 or 600 for $20. Just took it off his table. So I've got to count in the next 3 days, my Cubs count. So that's what and I did buy actually, I think he was like buddies with one of the dealers in the Williamson ballroom. Allow me to fill up my coffee. I still haven't got creamer. He came up and he's like, "Hey, do you buy bulk?" Do I buy bulk? Do I buy bulk? You're damn right I do. What do you got? But I'm always a little hesitant. Like, I don't want to just come out and be like desperate for your bulk. I'm like, what is it? Is it 80s and 90s? No, it's like modern stuff. I'm like, oh, now you're talking. Okay. He's like, it's like a 4-row box and a couple shoe boxes. I'm like, okay, bring it up. Yeah, bring it up. So he brought it up. There were a couple shoe boxes, and I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, I want like, I don't know, $100 for the 4-row box or whatever. I'm like, okay. Looking through. There's some decent, a lot of quarter cards. Like, okay, there's not much here that, you know, can I make $100 back? Yeah, but it's going to take a year. I'm like, yeah. So I'm digging through like the second shoe box, and then he goes, well, the good stuff, and I found some decent like Bowman in those shoe boxes. And then he goes, the better stuff's going to be in the big box. I'm like, oh, now we're talking. Okay. So I open it up, and right off the bat, there's some Ohtani's and Jason Dominguez first Bowman. And okay, I'm flipping. Okay, there's some decent stuff in here. And he goes, I'll do 130 for all of it. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'll give you 100. And I did what I hate doing, the back and forth negotiation. I flipping hate it. I hate the back and forth. Will you do this? I'll do this. That's still not my price. Will you do this? We had to come to a price where we both walked away happy. So he starts at 130. And I probably should have started at 80 because I wanted to pay 100. So he goes 130. I'm like, I'll do 100. How about 115? No, I want 100. And I'm like, okay, we're close enough. I'm like, I just don't want to fork out like $5 bills. And this sounds really stupid. But the reason I countered back, normally I'm just like, okay, I'll give you 115 just because I don't want to keep going back and forth. 110, 112.50, 111, 112. I hate the back and forth negotiation. I hate it. Did it for 8 freaking years as a business development specialist for a third-party logistics company. I was a salesman. The reason why I countered at 110 because I didn't want to give up another $5 bill. Literally, because like a $5 bill is like, well, it's literally currency, but it's a great currency. I have a ton of ones, not because I'm hitting the singles club or the strip club or whatever. I have just a shitload of ones. I guess that's what happens when you sell quarter cards. You just get, here's $3, here's $3, here's $3, here's $3. So I didn't want to give up a $5 bill because I have to often give $5 bills back in change. And it's more, $5 bills are like the most important denomination for me in like card shows. So It sounds stupid as hell, but that's why I would. Otherwise, I probably would have said, okay, F it. I don't want to keep negotiating back and forth, because if I come back at 110, you come back at 112, like, let's just. So we set 110. So I counted at 110, and he's like, fist bump, we're cool. So my sales, I did really well. I had, not only did I do well sales dollars wise, transaction wise, I made a lot of transactions yesterday. Madison, July, 40. I had 40 that might be a record number of transactions, even including like the boom times of transactions. 40 transactions from $1 to $150 were my transactions yesterday. Mostly were in the 5 to 10 range. And here's why. Because I had a lot of transactions, so I didn't want to bring my phone calculator out every time. Because typically, if somebody brings a stack of cards, whether it's 20, 30, 50, 100, I give a volume discount. And it can be, and if it was in like between 30 and 40 cards, I'm just like $6. If it was 40 to 50 cards, $8. That was just, so I had a lot of like $6 and $8 transactions, because a lot of the transactions were in that range, 30 to 40 cards. 35 to 45 cards, basically. Let's see. Let's go in. We've got the countdown. The Faulty says, I have a 2009 iCubs team set with Sandberg as manager. I put $5 on it at shows, couldn't sell it. I ended up breaking it up and have sold 3 cards, making $20. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. And I love one deal I passed on at a recent show, actually a few months ago. One of the dime box dealers had like a 50-cent box, and he had a bunch. I think he had like 10, so like 20 old 80s and 90s minor league team sets for 50 cents a pop. It's like, I can move these. Like, I sell minor league singles fairly regularly. I mean, with what I have in my inventory on eBay, and I'm kicking that was a great deal. So that's actually something I'm looking for at the National. If I just happen to see old minor league team sets, if I can get them for $1, and even, I'll pay more depending on the set, the older it is, I'll pay more. Bink was watching that 74, Russell. You better snag it before I get to it. Big Harv confirms Duffy's Tavern, Galesburg, Illinois. In fact, I think it has an old style sign out front. Let's see. Minneapolis Kid, what's up? What does Columbia Hobby need to make a wholesale account? Basically, with any wholesale account, it needs your reseller's license. I think that's it. I think it's just your reseller license. So you have a tax number. I think that's all you need. Tax number, reseller license, one or the other. I can't remember, but it's one of those. So it's really easy. In fact, because I was pissed off at BCW because they stopped shipping to home addresses on wholesale accounts. I'm like, screw you. So I went to, I reached out to, what's his name? Tom on LinkedIn. Tom, I think his name's Tom. He's like an executive CEO or something. And I'm like, hey, can I get a wholesale account? And he responded right away. Like within 2 hours, I was set up on Columbia Hobby. Bink's also watching a 75 Iowa Oaks Joe Necro. Were they? So that would have been a White Sox card, though, right? Because they didn't become the Iowa Cubs. Well, they were the Iowa Oaks as a Cubs affiliate for 1 year. And I think that year was 1981. I think they were the Wichita Arrows through 80 because Lee Smith is in the 80 Wichita Arrows set. And so I think they were the Iowa Oaks in 1981 as a Cubs affiliate. I think Pat Tabler was on that team. So yeah, Iowa Oaks 75 would have been the White Sox. So I'm like, ooh, I need that one too. Max says, that's why I have a price and stick to it. I'll make a lower offer than work up to my price, but I'm hard set on that price. Yeah. And that's, I wanted to spend $100, but 110, I'm not, let's see. Did people stick up on cards for the National at the show? Stick up. I don't know what that means. Stick up on cards. Did people stick up on cards for the National at the show? I don't know what that means. So yeah, great turnout. There's a cool 1984 Eric Davis Arrows card with the Reds. I love those old minor league cards. I have a ton of Cubs minor league sets. Oh, Matt says probably meant stock up. Yes. So let's go back to it. Did people stock up on cards for the National? Yeah. And again, it's kind of like the 80-20 or the 90-10. Because I think 90% of the people in attendance at yesterday's Madison Card Show are not attending the National. But the 10% of people in the room that are going to the National were stocking up on cards. So 90-10. Did people stock up on cards to flip? Yeah. So yeah, there was a good amount of people. I had a few dealers, like I said earlier, that wanted to set up just to buy and get cards to take to trade nights and all that. There's a lot of talk about trade nights. The Nationals trying to cancel trade nights. I've just heard bits and pieces. I think Dan the Cardman did a video recently on it. I haven't watched it yet, but interesting stuff. Bink loves the old minor league cards as well. I pre-ordered 2 boxes of Topps Chrome yesterday, $149. That seems like a good price on Topps Chrome. Releases Wednesday. Topps Chrome does. I don't think I'm going to buy any. I'm saving my dollars for the Singles Club. I was telling people I was talking all about the Singles Club at yesterday's show, and I said, as much as I talk and I tell people about the Singles Club, you might be better off going to other bargain boxes because you're going to have a lot of competition at the Singles Club. But Bink says, I believe Dr. Beckett has all of the old minor league sets. I think I've heard him talk about him having a huge minor league card collection. That's pretty cool. There's some really rare minor. There's a 1950s, and I think it's a California league. The Cubs were an affiliate. The Visalia Oaks were an affiliate of the Cubs, and there's 6 cards, and they're super rare. They do not pop up anywhere. And if they do, they're hundreds of dollars for a single. So that's what I had. Next show is Saturday, August 26th. I think it's going to be another good show. I think now we're starting to trend back upwards. And that's kind of what I see, at least with the Madison Card Show, where summers are a little slow, can be a little off. The July show seems to be crazy because people are coming in to buy for the National. And then I think we kind of trickle up. August, another good show. I think we build momentum into the fall months. And then it peaks in January, February. Those are the peak months. And then it kind of it's not March, not as good as February, April, not as good as March, but still really good. Then May, June, July, and then we kind of go like that. That's what I see personally, anecdotally. I don't have attendance numbers to back it up or anything like that, but that's kind of how I've seen it. Let's see. Rich says he does have a ton of minor league sets through about 2003 or so. Interesting. Bet on the hunt for Harold Baines' Knox Sox card. Impossible. The Knox Sox. So that's what I had for today. It's already 10. Shit, it's 11 o'clock already. I've got to go because I've got a ton of shipping. I've got to clean out the garage. Oh, no. We've got shit all over the garage. So I've got to do that today. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure to mark your calendar for Saturday, August 26th, the next Madison Card Show at the Sheraton Hotel, where, boom, 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 John Nolen Drive, 125 dealer tables. If you want a table, let me know. Is there anything else I need to shill? eBay store, link in the description. Added almost 2,000 cards to my store this week, despite every craziness going on. I don't know if I'm going to get much more added. Programming, no. Again, I don't know if I'm going to go live tomorrow morning. I don't think I will go live tomorrow morning. If you're in the Facebook group, Hobby Evolution on Facebook, if you're not, join it. I will put something on there, but I'm right now, I'm 80-20 that I won't go live tomorrow. There's a 20% chance I will, but there's an 80% chance there will not be Hobby Evolution tomorrow morning because there's just too many people going to be traipsing through my home tomorrow, especially in the 7 o'clock hour. Programming note, since there will not be Hobby Evolution tomorrow, I will not, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Anyway, to replace not having Hobby Evolution, and I can't find the words that I'm trying to think of, since there will not be a Hobby Evolution, since there probably will not be a Hobby Evolution tomorrow morning, I will give you content. We will go live tomorrow. I don't know when. Probably in the evening. Try 5 a.m. Low roller. Are you kidding? I'm not waking up that early. Well, I did yesterday, but I'm not doing it again until next month. I will give you content. We will go live tomorrow night. So we'll compete against Monday Night Raw. 7 o'clock-ish. So 7 p.m. tomorrow night, tentatively, we will go live, Hobby Evolution Prime Time. What's in this box edition? The $110 boxes that I bought yesterday at the Madison Card Show. What's in those boxes? We'll find out tomorrow night. So we'll go live with that. Monday night prime time, Hobby Evolution. So since I made that decision, maybe it's 90% that I won't go live tomorrow morning, since we'll go live tomorrow night. So now I'm done rambling. Took too big of a swig. Now I'm done rambling. So have a great day. Have a great Sunday. We'll be back at it tomorrow evening. We won't go live tomorrow morning. We'll go live tomorrow night about 7 p.m. So it won't be 7 a.m. It'll be 7 p.m. So thanks for joining. Thanks to everyone that came out to the Madison Card Show yesterday. Again, the next show is Saturday, August 26th. We'll go live tomorrow night. We'll go live probably Tuesday, Wednesday morning, but I'll have to kind of keep you updated because there still might be some crazy shit going on here with just contractors. But we'll try to go on Tuesday and Wednesday morning. I will be at the National all week next week, Wednesday through Sunday. Make sure to stop by and say hello, except for Wednesday afternoon between when the doors open. Don't talk to me between the doors opening and the singles club. Once I sit down at the singles club on Wednesday, come say hi and look at dollar cards with me. But on the way to the singles club, don't bother me. I'm on a beeline. And then we can talk. So if I ignore you and I say, piss off, get out of my way, and trample you and push little kids out of the way, I won't do that. I'll see you at the singles club. So with that, I'm going to go. I'm going to stop rambling. Have a great day. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow night.